All right, welcome to round four of Laguna Seca, or round four of Spec P71 Racing Series at Laguna Seca. I'm Brett Matson, your host, joined here with my co-host Susie. Susie, how you doing today? Are you ready for some foggy action here at Laguna?
I was about to say she's a little foggy out there today, and I'm kind of intrigued how the chaos is going to unwind today.
Yeah, so a lot of the drivers have been talking about the fog in their in the Spec P71 chat, and they're not particularly too happy about it because you do have a reduced field of view. But yeah, it's gonna definitely make for some increased chaos and very typical weather for Laguna Seca as well, especially in the mornings. Usually very fogged in, and then it slowly starts to get a little bit better as the day goes on.
Man,
As we
oh,
watch
I,
Fran Chan go around the track here, running on 155.5. Typical lap times that we've been seeing here from the faster guys has been 152, 153s. So we should start seeing them drop down here as they get more and more laps in.
nice.
But speaking of weather, how's the weather out by you this time around?
It's 40 degrees here.
That's not
Everything is melting.
that's not too bad. That's considerably better than what you
Ah,
told me it was last week. So
literally. So it is actually it was very foggy the past few days, and where I live, like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
So a lot of deer hanging out by the road and snowmobiles picking up their kids from school, which is really weird. Yeah, a cat just chose me. Hi.
I have Chom watching the TV currently. She's watching her squirrel and bird TV. So she's
Oh,
fully in tune with that right now, enjoying herself as we see, I believe that was James Pendry going
whoop.
full sideways through the kink on the way up to the corkscrew. As you can see, this track is has a lot of elevation changes, so it's going to be pretty interesting. We'll ride along with Francis Chan here, see how he does, how he handles it. But yeah, the corkscrew itself is a 9-story drop, so it's
Oh,
a considerable amount of elevation change here. A lot of fun to drive in a real car. I have a little story about my experience there from a couple years back with the Crown Victoria. And going down the corkscrew, I actually bottomed out the car so hard it popped out the left hand side of the windshield. And I had to pull off course because I was laughing so hard.
oh my God.
It was one of those moments of just like, oh, I'm driving a shitbox, and it just did shitbox things, and I couldn't keep driving. My eyes were watering. I was laughing so hard. It was fantastic.
Shitbox is gonna shitbox. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes.
Absolutely. And then it looks like in chat right now we have Samuel Doherty, one of our drivers, saying, "I can't see shit. I'm already blind, and you fogged me." You're welcome, Sam. I hope you appreciate the extra fog. Whereas some of the drivers have been saying that they hotboxed Laguna Seca, and that is the fog that you're seeing today. As we see Fran make his way back up towards the mountain. The kink right here, this is a very difficult corner to get right. If you brake before you enter and then you're accelerating as you're going into the corner, that is the fastest way through there. Looks like Fran made it through there pretty nicely as he heads up to the corkscrew now to that gigantic drop as you see him overshoot it just a little bit there. And then all the way down the hill, back down to level ground. One thing that the sim does not capture very well is just the amount of G-forces you're experiencing as you're heading down that hill, and just the sheer elevation change is unbelievable as you go down there. You gotta really line up your entry point to the corkscrew and hope that you get it right. Looks like Fran is slowing down a little bit here to probably let the other driver by or just coming to a stop. So we'll go ahead and move our camera over to Will Pierre, who is currently the leader of the championship right now as we're heading into the 4th round, and also our fastest time so far in practice here, with a 154.728.
Now, is that going to be the driver to watch today? Is it going to be Will Pierre?
I
Are we thinking?
I think it's going to be Will Pierre, and honestly, it's going to be our 2nd place contender and 3rd place contenders as well. We've got Jake Snedden and Jace Merrick. So I think those are going to be the 3 to watch. I think it's going to be whoever is able to be the most consistent with their lap times without going off course. Because if you get a tire stuck in the sand here, it is a huge slowdown for you. And really, this track is all about precision in cars that are not very precise. So it's a battle. In the small amount of practice that I did during the week, just messing around with it, I started to see myself get a little bit frustrated just because of how difficult it is to keep it on course and just keep it on the correct line as you work your way around here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Now we see Ian Anderson drop down into a 153.854 in his lovely livery Whack McDonald's. Definitely not a copyright infringement of McDonald's. I believe Whack McDonald's or Whack Donald's was developed before McDonald's was around.
Completely different. Completely different.
We see Ian work his way back up towards the corkscrew here. This corner that they're going through, that is essentially, if you get a bad run out of that corner, you're not going to be able to carry any speed up towards the top of the mountain, and you really need to get that corner right. It's the left-hander. Let's see if I can go back to someone that is driving that area right now. This will be the closest one that we can get to. We'll ride along with the Catmobile of Tyler Heron. So these corners, they're not as imperative as the next corner that is currently coming up. It's the left-hander as you head up the hill. If you get a bad run out of this corner, you lose so much miles per hour just because these cars are not high horsepower at all. So you got to really late apex it, and just like Tyler did there, that was a fantastic run. That's exactly how you want to make it through. Use up all that exit on the outside to really just carry as much as you can so you can get up the hill fast there and then fast through this corner. One of our YouTubers, Cindy, says, I'm thinking the Fig Newton windshield banner is going to be a big handicap in this fog. I agree. He's already, Jake Snedden is already handicapping himself a lot with having that Fig Newton on there, and then now we have the addition of the fog, so he is just, he's driving by Braille this evening.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there is really just not any visibility. Let's go to the first, yeah, this is first person view for Jake. Not a lot of visibility out of that car.
Oh dear.
But I'm sure he'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
Everything's on fire, but everything's fine.
It's okay. We have our coffee and our spotted cow. It's okay.
As we see Jake slowly making an exit onto the course. Probably trying to figure out where he's supposed to go since he can't see out of his windshield.
He's doing great, sweetie.
Looks like Ian's managed to work his way down to a 153.854 now. So we have about 6 minutes left in practice here before we head on to qualifying and, of course, race 1. Cool side note as of today, we have a new entrant taking over for one of our other entrants, Tetra. She's not going to be driving with us, but Amy Dilks has taken over her car and is going to be rocking the beautifully liveried Hatsune Miku Itasha car.
Adorable. Adorable. Like the stars on the windshield. That might get over that upper edge we're looking for.
Absolutely. This is her first person view. All you see is the stars. Amy is going to be a star today. We're happy to have her on board.
Love it.
We're watching Ian Anderson once again head down the mountain through the corkscrew, getting a little bit outside in the dirt there. Totally fine though in that section. Doing a great job of being precise with his driving here. Yeah, this version of the Laguna Seca track is going to be the 2022 version. As of 2023, they made quite a few updates to the track, more runoff in different locations, and repaved the surface. We went out there with Spec P71, the real series, and this was like a month or two after they had to fix some of the paving because they did it wrong the first time around and it ripped some up. And I think most of us that were driving Spec P71 cars got black flagged when we were out there. And it was not to our own fault. The Laguna Seca staff was unaware of the slip angle that these cars have, and we weren't. They were considering that we were drifting, but we definitely were not drifting. So they, in the last session of the day, I think they were just done with us, and they pulled us off for a black flag, like on the very last session, and it was unfortunate, but
yeah, I'd say so.
That being said, I'm not entirely sure how much longer Laguna Seca will be around, because they are currently in a very litigious battle right now with the local area around the facility. Just mainly the area around it doesn't like the noise. That's the main thing, and there's so many more track days now that there's more and more complaints. That it used to be just a couple weekends a year, and now it's a lot of weekends a year, and they're not happy about it.
Yikes.
Downside of California.
Yikes, yikes. Well, you chose to live there, just saying.
This is true.
This is true. We have a track, the Milwaukee Mile, literally like in West Allis in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, people don't like it. It's very loud.
That's
a lot of complaints.
That's the oval track, right?
It is, yes.
Yes.
They do have like an inner course too, and it's very, very bumpy because you have to transfer from the oval to like the inner part of it, and it is whoa.
Getting a little sideways there.
Little sideways. It is cray cray. Not my favorite.
Yeah, I remember as soon as you said Milwaukee Mile, I knew exactly. I'm like, oh, that's got to be the oval track that's out there. It used to be, I don't know if they run it there anymore, but it used to be an IndyCar track, and it was
Yes.
okay. So yeah, it back in the day, like when I was a lot younger, that was like one of my favorite tracks. And ironically, in IndyCar Racing 2, which is like a very very old racing simulator game, and that was one of the tracks, and it was a lot of fun to drive there.
Awesome. Yeah, it is fun. I will say it was one of my favorite ones to be on. So
Nice. How do you enjoy Road America?
I haven't been on Road America.
You haven't.
Nope, just Milwaukee Mile for SCCA.
Ah.
Just for like they have like Thursday night track days.
Mhm.
Whee! Sorry, ADHD. Whee!
Yeah.
Look at him go.
I saw the
Oh
car
my
cross the screen like,
God.
whee!
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, geez. Yeah, I did a GTI for the Thursday night track day just for fun with a
Nice.
friend. It was super fun. So. Oh.
We're doing some horn honking. Is this New York? It's random horn honks. All right, looks like practice is over here. All drivers are going to be coming to the line. Switching over into qualifying. But yeah, hopefully soon you get to go out onto Road America, Elkhart Lake. That's a fun track.
Done a ride, but not actually driven it myself. I'm hoping in the next few years I get to do that with a Miata.
That would be an absolute blast in one of those cars.
Mm-hmm.
Just be careful of the kink there. That kink is very deadly.
Yeah, usually I would not run the kink.
Ah.
All the track days do not run the kink, thank God.
Okay, so it's more of like a professional circuit kind of thing in that case.
Yep. For the
That's
most
good.
part, yeah.
That's good because yeah, in the sim it is very sketchy to drive through that section.
It's sketchy just to watch people go through it.
Yeah.
So
There's definitely some butt puckering going on going through that section.
you stole my line. It's yep.
Looks like the leader of practice is going to be Jace Merrick with a 153.691. Drivers not able to make their way down to a 152 like I thought they were going to. I might just be what I mentioned earlier with just the difficulty of getting the precision out of these cars. I know Jake and Ian, as well as Jace, all did like 30 to 40 laps before they were actually able to reach down into the low 153s. So it's definitely something where you need to be very, very precise if you're going to try to get that fast lap time. And I assume that our horn honker has got to be Francis Chan, who has his push to talk button for the voice chat for the drivers mapped to his horn button as well.
Didn't change it. Oh.
Oh, he's definitely doing some talking, holding that horn. All right, as we see our countdown, now switch over to qualifying. About in a minute and 30 seconds here, we'll be switching over. That is a lot of horn honking. I feel like I'm in New York right now.
New York or Chicago?
You're doing great, Fran. We appreciate the horn honks. Either that,
Great, sweetie.
either that, or it could be Carrie as well, because Carrie, I think, said she mapped it to her horn button as well, out of solidarity for Fran. And Sam is now in chat saying he'd like to thank his sponsor, Capri Sun and Goldfish Colors.
Ooh. Goldfish are delicious. You crumple it up and you put it on, instead of doing cornflakes, you can put that on your casserole.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm unhinged. Yeah.
I never would have thought to do that, but I mean, like, it's not, I guess it's not too much different than doing that with Fritos.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Oh, now someone is really honking their horn. All right, we have 5 seconds until qualifying begins, and the utter chaos of who can get out of the pit lane first begins. There they go. It looks like Will Pierre is off. Oh, actually, it looks like Stephen Moore is out first. As they all start rushing down to the pit exit area. Oh, as we see some drivers hitting the cones that to mark the pit exit area. And Steven off into the lead. Hopefully he gets his fast lap set. Get those tires up to temp and those brakes up to temp and see what kind of lap they can get once they head out to their first hot laps. Fog is certainly not letting up whatsoever here. Maybe that will change in the race. Maybe it won't. We'll see as we see Stephen Moore go way off in the dirt there. Looks like Tyler is going to overtake him. I don't know if that's going to be the move. I think Steven is a little bit faster than Tyler, but we'll see what happens here. Steven taking a very adventurous line through the corkscrew there. I think an eventual goal for Spec P71 will be to run Road America at some point. And at that point, I hope you're able to come out, Susie, because I think it'd be absolutely hilarious to have you as a passenger as we zoom around the track.
Yes, please. Yes, and I love ride-alongs. They're so much fun.
And yeah, everyone that I've given a ride along in the Spec P71 car has come out just either giggling like crazy or laughing hysterically. It is a very fun car to be a passenger in and also a driver. It's just so much chaos. Like most of the passengers, especially the ones that are drivers that are riding along with me, they typically say that being in my car is like controlled chaos. The car is doing all sorts of crazy things, but it feels so in control.
Yes. I'm here for that. It's like that meme. Again!
Yes.
That's literally me when I do ride-alongs. Like, do it again, please. Thank you very much.
I do think going through the kink in one of these at Road America would be the be the most sketchy experience in the world, but the most fun to get right.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
See Steven making his way back towards the line here, see what kind of lap time he puts down. Now, he did have to go back by Tyler for this lap, so I'm not sure if that's going to affect his lap time at all. Comes to the line with a 155.229. Will Pierre right behind with a 154.960. I think the lap times are just starting to get heated up here. We will likely see some faster lap times, I have a feeling, in the next 5 minutes or so. You see James Pendry now across the line with the 154.719, or excuse me, 791.
Do you have a different kind of whiskey in front of you tonight? Or
I
same?
am just rocking bullet this evening. Just enjoying the basically I squint my eyes every time I drink it just because like that initial just oof, compared to the energy drinks that I drink is a very interesting change. Go from sweet to really really spicy basically.
Yeah.
What about you?
Always spotted cow.
Nice.
Always. Yeah, it's not mine. I just happen to drink it though, so yeah. Whoops. Whoops. I owe a case to someone.
As we see Will Pierre now drop it into a 153.526. Starting to see some 153s out of these drivers as we've got 4 minutes left in this qualifying session. And we see in the in the Discord chat, we see a driver complaining about the fog, saying it would get red flagged in these conditions. Which maybe if it was a professional race, yes, it might get red flagged. But at a track day, every single time we've been to Laguna Seca, they always let us run, even in this thick fog. There's enough of
Bananas.
yeah, there's enough vision for you to be able to drive and be able to see what's going on in front of you. I'm not sure what his in-game settings might be like, but maybe he's got the fog reduced, which we could definitely play with the fog settings in CSP here. We can crank this up if you don't want to see anything at all, but I don't think we're gonna do that for the broadcast. So we turn it right back down to the standard level. As we see now, Jake Snedden has the 153.431, so he is first place at the moment with 220 left. Drivers are now making their way towards the line once again. As we see Will Pierre across the line and does not go faster, 154.075. Interestingly enough, we see Ian Anderson up there in the mix with a 153.762. Doing really well at this track. Notice that in the practice lap times during the week as well. He definitely got to quick times very, very fast. So he could also be a factor in this race. I think Chom has worn herself out now. She's no longer watching her cat TV. She has conked out in a very unique position, upside down, in her cat bed. I really need to. I need to get a cat cam or Chom cam set up for the live streams here, so you guys could always watch her.
Oh, please. Please. I have two black voids on my lap. I have one named Wiener, and the other one is Bourbon.
Fantastic
They're not
names.
leaving me alone. Yes. Ironically, Wiener's the dominant one of both of these male cats. Yeah.
Perfect name for a dominant cat, I suppose.
Absolutely. They're all black with those pretty yellow eyes, and they're Maine Coon mixes.
Nice.
Luffy's, they're voidness. Darkness voids.
Void cats are the absolute best.
Oh, 100%. I need one now. Right now.
Yeah, you have the bright colored huskies and then also the void cats, so that's like the perfect mix.
It really is like a yin and yang thing we got going on here. They groom each other too, which is the strangest. I've never expected my Siberians to like groom cats. And the cats groom him. Yeah,
Nice.
very interesting. Yeah, I'm like, what is going on?
Very loving situation. It's good.
It is. It's rare. No.
Looks like Jake Snedden comes across the line with a 153.431, speeds up a bit more, gets that fastest lap. With Will Pierre right behind and Ian Anderson in third. As we see qualifying come to a close here. The real question is going to be what's going to happen in race 2. If Jake Snedden's able to hold on to that first place position for race 1, it'll put him back in 15th, and Laguna Seca is not a very passable place. So it's going to be a very, very interesting race 2.
Absolutely. These drivers are going to have to bite their time and wait for people to make mistakes in order to pass, I feel.
100%. And something that I had to learn when I did the Logitech G Challenge with the GT3 cars here is you really, really got to set up the driver in front of you to make a mistake, be all over the rear bumper, and just push them into overshooting a corner or just blowing an apex altogether. So it's super important to get into your competitor's head here.
Interesting.
As we see the final drivers making their way across the line here, we have Jake Snedden in first place, Will Pierre second place, Ian Anderson in third, Jason Merrick in fourth, Tyler Heron in fifth, Francis Chan in sixth, Stephen Moore seventh, Sauce in eighth, James Pendry ninth, Sam Doherty in 10th, Phil Rotschaffer in 11th, Kerry Anderson in 12th, Sean Merrick in 13th, Chase Hudson in 14th, Tedward in 15th, Lilac Zier in 16th, Daniel Gauger in 17th, Gilbert Cortez in 18th, Elijah Matai in 19th, Ian Brandt in 20th, and Amy Dilks rounds it out in 21st. And now we're back to the horn honking. Hopefully, when we switch over to the race session, it does not put us in nighttime. If it does, I apologize in advance. We're going to do a quick recycle of the stream if it does end up doing that. There is not a fix for that at the moment. I already looked into that on the Assetto Corsa server side of things, and it is just a bug that the server does. So I apologize and bear with us if we run into that issue. Hopefully we don't, though.
Yeah, that's an ope.
On a side note, one of our drivers that were missing this event, Matt Korchik, unfortunately could not make it this evening. He was out walking his dogs in some slushy weather out there, and he slipped when one of his dogs ended up pulling him to try to chase after an animal that was out there, and he went tumbling down like a big old building. So he's not feeling up to the task of driving this evening, which is unfortunate, but we do hope he gets better.
Oh man, I don't blame him. That sounds miserable.
He's a neighbor to you out there in Michigan. And yeah, I guess he's everything's starting to thaw out there and causing some slushiness.
Yeah.
Makes it not a great walking experience, but...
Oh man. Yeah, hopefully he feels better. He better tell his dogs I say hi. Yeah.
I'm sure at some point he will post his dogs. If he happens to be watching the stream, feel free to post your dogs in the Discord chat, Matt.
Please and thank you.
No football spoilers until after the races. Well, good news, Carrie. I don't watch football, so there won't be any spoilers from me.
Same.
Usually all of my football highlights come from TikTok, which is hilarious because I don't really watch football, but like I'll watch the highlights on TikTok.
Yeah, football's not my thing.
Yeah. And then looks like Sam says, so last night I had way too many libations at our Autocross Club's awards banquet. After my wife forced me to drive my minivan to drive me home, I ate a whole roll of Girl Scout shortbread cookies. Wow. Yeah, I could definitely eat an entire box of Thin Mints in the sitting, which I am
Oh,
both proud of and not proud of at the same time.
no. Be proud of that. Crush it up, put it on top of your ice cream, and like mix it. Ooh, I am a foodie.
All right.
Woody.
It looks like we did not get nighttime this time around, so we are good to go. Let me move our car to the pits so we're not in everybody's way. Oh, that makes me happy that we don't have to reset our our stream.
Same.
After
Now I
last
don't do any
week,
work.
yeah, after last week's craziness, that everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I'm happy that this is going relatively smooth so far. Now watch, I lose all of my internet connection or something along
Yeah,
those
don't
lines.
say that. Oh, goodness.
I'd be very surprised if I did lose my internet connection. I have fiber and it's really good out here, so fingers crossed that
Nice.
it does not go bad.
I'd be shocked then if you have fiber.
Oh, I got Sam's story wrong. It was my wife was forced to drive my van home, not him driving home. That's better. Definitely read that wrong. I thought you said that you had too many libations and then drove home. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a little concerned about that. You should really be pleading the fifth on that. If you're in the Midwest, it's a little different. But like, yeah, not that
Uh,
I would ever condone that.
All right, lights are out now. 10 seconds to go. As soon as those lights go red and go away, we are race green here. And we're off. All 220 horsepower from each car heading off into that first turn here at Laguna Seca. See if they're able to keep it clean. Look at how thick that fog is. They are definitely going to be a little bit vision impaired, but it seems to be going all right so far. Everyone seems to have made it through so far. Jake Sneddon holding on to that first place, going through the next couple corners here at Laguna. This is what we like to see. Some good, smooth driving, very minimal incidents. The drivers getting used to driving with each other on track here. So we see them start to make their way up towards the mountain now, up towards the corkscrew. Looks like we did have one incident in that first turn. Looks like Gilbert Cortez got spun around, so he's back there in 21st now. But looks like Amy Dilks moving up considerably here, up into the 16th place from 21st. Very nicely done. Not even to the end of the first lap yet. Matt Carroll in chat here says, oh, there's finally not a T1 accident when I can't join. Sorry, Matt. It's just the way the Girl Scout cookie crumbles, I guess.
Oh, nice. Nice pun. I was literally about to say that pun. Like, amazing. Amazing.
Oh, and it looks like Amy Dilks is falling back now, back down to 21st. Not sure what happened there. Must have got a little sideways. So we start to switch over to some of the competitions here. Looks like Jace Merrick is making the move on Will Pierre here to the inside. Someone definitely laying on their horn as well. Looks like Will is being pressured now from Ian Anderson. As they start to sort themselves out, Jace Merrick starting to drift off in the distance there, getting a nice little gap on Will Pierre. potentially closing that gap on Jake Sneddon. See what happens. We work our way back to another close battle going on here between Phil Rothschafer and Sam Doherty. Sam hopefully not driving with a hangover, but who knows at this point. Sam definitely getting the most out of his lighting situation here. He's running the spotlights and the headlights, possibly high beams. Oh, as we see Tyler Heron, and we see the big one here. Tyler Heron taking out, looks like, well, Sauce was out, and I'm not sure, I believe it was Chase Hudson. Nope, it was Fran Chan that also got taken out. So there will be a penalty for Tyler Heron upon review after the race. Unfortunately, he did not wait, as we see another takeout here. Chase Hudson better wait for Fran to return to the racing surface, as he does. Very nicely done. Courteous driver there, avoids the penalty.
Good Lord Almighty.
Unfortunately for Fran Chan here, we have 2 incidents in a matter of 2 turns. Getting the raw end of the stick once again. Matt says he's got to run. He's got his wife's birthday. Happy birthday to Matt's wife. Thanks for dropping by, man.
Yay.
And then Layla says, oh my God, I can barely see everyone coming. That fog, thick. It is definitely thick.
It's the, oh Lord, she coming.
Exactly.
Kind of fog.
On a side note, yeah. On a side note, Chase Hudson has joined the Two Drink Tuesday Discord, which is a setup. Oh my, that was a little bit of a bump there from Chase, as he does not wait for Elijah Mathai. That's going to be reviewed at post race there. Regardless, going back to Chase, he joined the Two Drink Tuesday Discord, which is an Assetto Corsa server where the rules are that, oh, it looks like he teleported back to pits, where the rules are to drink 2 drinks of your choice, alcoholic or not, as you race around the track. Unfortunately, it seems like Layla has gotten roped into that. Layla is, if he takes out people, if Chase ends up taking out people in the Two Drink Tuesday server, Layla has to drink. I don't know if Layla was told this, but that is the rule.
That sounds like a really fun Tuesday night. Lots of drinking involved for sure. The only time they could really get away with drinking and driving.
Yeah, chaotic.
Because we definitely do not condone that in real life. That is not the way to do things. If you are drinking, definitely take a cab home. Don't or an Uber, of course.
Uber. Yep.
Definitely do not drive yourself home.
No bueno. No, we do Mario Party drinking.
Ah, yes.
That's fun.
Have you ever done the Mario Party Mario Kart thing where you have to finish an entire beer before the end of a race, and the only way you can drink it is if you're stopped.
Stopped? Yeah.
So you either have to chug it at the very start line, or you come to a stop multiple times to drink.
Yes. No, I usually get to my 3rd lap, and right before the finish, I'll stop, quickly chug, and then I finish. It's usually first. I'm a very good Mario Kart driver. It's on my resume under accomplishments.
Well noted. I think we're gonna have to have a battle soon.
Absolutely.
Switching over to another battle going on here, we have Carrie Anderson and Tedward going at it here. Ah, yes, Carrie Anderson with the horn mapped to her voice chat. So, definitely getting on the horn as she's talking to Tedward, more than likely, trying to get into his head with that beautiful Dragon Ball Z livery.
Frieza's haunting. Not even his final form either. Oh my god.
It's perfect. This is a great three-way battle we have going on here between Tedward, Carrie, and Lilac. Cindy says, sounds like our family fishing rule, one shot for every fish caught. Everyone takes a shot for every fish caught. Well, good news is that I wouldn't be catching any fish. I am a terrible fisherman, so I would probably be the only sober one there.
My God, how sad is that though for you?
Yeah, I know, right? I would probably,
Oof.
I'd probably still drink regardless.
You'd have to. Absolutely. I'd be very drunk by 6:30 a.m. already with we catch walleye in the summer.
Nice.
I Midwest things, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, once the
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Nope.
After you.
When's the last meat raffle you've been to? Yeah.
Meat raffle?
Yes, a meat raffle.
That would have a
Yep.
very different connotation in California, so I'm going to ask you, what is a meat raffle?
You show up and you literally raffle off meat in your freezer.
Oh.
And it's usually like a charity event or it's just a meat raffle. Yeah.
That
It's
is...
just Wisconsin things.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually during Packer games at bars, so then more people are there. So they bring like walleye, venison, all the things.
Nice.
I hope someone in YouTube chat brings this up, like, oh yeah, I know what that is, or like, what is she talking about?
I think you might be the only Midwesterner in our chat right now.
Kind of sad about that.
It looks like Juanita says, remind me not to fish with Cindy. You see, this is still the closest battle in the race here. After we only have 5 minutes left to go, Carrie is doing her best to give Tedward some pressure, and Lilac right behind. Looks like Chase Hudson's back in the pits now, I believe. At least that's what it's showing. It's showing he's no longer disconnected. So maybe he's just self-penalizing himself, which is totally fine. Oh, as you see Tedward get a little sideways there. Gap's closing in. Lilac gets the inside of Carrie after that little slip up from Tedward, and Carrie had to lift off. See if she could fight her way back with Sauce right behind her. Sauce definitely has a very fast lap time here. Where is that lap time? 154.580 to Carrie's 156.930. So it's going to be an interesting battle as we see Carrie work her way back towards the inside of Lilac. Fantastic battle going on here. I believe Sauce is just hanging back right now, just trying to let them figure themselves out instead of trying to force his way in. Very good strategy. As we see them go too wide through the kink. Typically speaking, that corner is not too wide as we see them go 3 wide as they head up towards the corkscrew. And then Carrie talking on the radio, I assume, either that or just voicing her displeasure to that whole experience. You see Fran now working his way up towards the outside of Carrie as they head down the chute.
Yeah, your prediction was absolutely right. Putting pressures on others in the drive and just seeing who can make a mistake to make your move.
Absolutely. And who gets caught up in that mistake as well, because Tedward had made that mistake and Carrie had to lift, and that has caused her to drop a bunch of positions here. Hopefully we can see her work her way back up and get back on track to challenging them for some position. Surprisingly so right now. There is not too many battles going on with 2.5 minutes left. Looks like Jake Snedden has checked out up here. Holding on to that 2.9 second lead currently with Jace Merrick right behind. Trying to find our closest battles here. Looks like it's back to Fran versus Lilac. Fran throwing on the hazards, making sure you can see through the fog. See, Chase Hudson looks like he disconnected once again. Hopefully he comes back. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully we get some information as to what occurred. Curious to know. Switching.
Yeah, there could have been a meat raffle.
Oh, God. I certainly hope it wasn't him having to leave for a meat raffle at this hour, but you never know.
Oh, you're 2 hours behind.
I mean, it's 6 o'clock on a Sunday here, though. As we switch back to an incident that occurred here between Fran and Lilac. Looks like Carrie gets by them both. So Carrie moving on up. At the expense of Lilac and Fran. Not sure what happened between those two. Hopefully no bad blood between them. But definitely something we're going to have to review after this event. A lot of post-race penalties that may be given out. As we switch forward to Tedward and Sauce going at it now. Fantastic battle going on between these two. Hopefully make it through cleanly here. Looks like Sauce is getting right on by and gonna head right back up. Sauce got taken out early on, had a little bit of a faster lap time than Tedward, so definitely probably going to see him pull away here. So we look forward to the Tyler Heron and Phil Rothscheffer battle that's going on. Tyler doing everything he can to close that gap on Phil. So we see Jake Snedden cross the line. That is the end of the race. I'm sorry I almost missed that. But Jace Merrick in second place. Will Pierre in third. Ian Anderson in fourth. Stephen Moore in fifth. James Pendry in sixth. Sam Doherty in seventh. And we see a battle, a race to the line here with Phil Rothschaffer pulling off eighth place and Tyler Heron in ninth. That was a great door-to-door battle to the line.
Close.
Sauce crosses the finish line in 10th here. Tedward in 11th. Carrie Anderson, a nice job in 12th. Working her way back up. Lilac Zier in 13th. Francis Chan, 14th. Sean Merrick crosses the line in 15th. And we see Dan Gauger crossing the line now, 16th place. Ian Brandt, not a bad showing from him in 17th. Holding the horn as he crosses the line.
For him.
And we see Elijah Matai emerging from the fog to a 18th place finish. With Gilbert Cortez right behind in 19th. Unfortunately, he had that incident early on. Mr. Drownsky, hopefully I'm getting that right in our YouTube chat, says, I'm so confused about what I'm watching. So is this a virtual race? Yes, it is. This is a virtual Spec P71 racing series. This is what we do in our off season until our real racing season begins. And we see Amy Dilks cross the line here with Chase Hudson right behind him in 21st. So the entries are now closed for the season. We had a driver take over for another driver that couldn't make it, but yeah, so next year just look out for the championship signups and you'll be able to get involved. Well, yeah, congratulations to Jake Snedden. First place, Tyler Heron in, or wait, no, not Tyler Heron. That is backwards. Jace Merrick in second place. Will Pierre in third. So nicely done to the top three. Podium finish for them. Jake Snedden closing that gap now, I believe, on Will Pierre in the championship points. But we'll see what happens in race 2. With the grid reversed, who do you think has the best chance, Susie?
Oh man, I think it's going to be a battle between Pierre and the second place.
So you think it'll be Will and Jace?
Yep.
All right. We'll see what happens here. I think that's a fantastic prediction. I think also Ian Anderson is going to be in the mix. Ian Anderson's my pick for race 2. I think if he's able to hold off the other drivers, he will be able to pull off a win. That's my guess anyway.
It's definitely going to be chaotic with that fog.
So again, there might be, whether or not I set this up correctly, there may or may not be a surprise towards the middle of the race. We'll see if that fog happens to lift or not. That all depends on how terrible of a coder I am. So we'll see.
You're doing the best you can. It's okay.
Sam Doherty, one of our drivers in the series in our YouTube chat, is saying that he picks Tedward as his pick for the race. Very kind of you, going for Mr. Canada. Almost said Mr. Canada, which it's not exactly correct, but it's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay. This is fine. Who doesn't like Ryan Reynolds?
It's fair.
Everyone likes Ryan Reynolds. Exactly. Oh, God bless him.
All right. Looks like race 2 is setting itself up now. Looks like we are still in daytime, which is a positive.
Count your blessings, drivers.
As we see, Sean Merrick is now in the lead now with that change-up of the grid. And we see Carrie Anderson in our shop now, covering her eyes, but being able to peek through them. Nicely done in race 1, Carrie. Did a great job. I wonder how many of our drivers are actually watching the stream as they drive. If you could hear us, drivers, honk your horn. Huh?
Waiting so patiently.
Yeah.
Like,
No horn honk, so I guess they're not watching at the present moment.
Sad.
Either that or they just don't have their horns mapped. That's also a very highly likely scenario. But I feel like that would be the first thing that I map prior to my push to talk, or directly to my push to talk, like Fran and Carrie have done.
It's so creative. The creativity of our drivers are just, it's unmatched.
You're only going to find that creativity with Spec P71. As we see the countdown starting to reach its way down to 15 seconds here, you're going to see those lights go out and they're going to start to become red. And as they go out again, we are green. And we are green. Sean Merrick with a little bit of a late start there. So you see them work their way towards the very first corner. Ran Chan getting the jump on Sean Merrick. He could pull off a nice lead here. Going into turn 1, we got Sauce diving in deep. Looking for that third place, trying to hold on to it as we see a couple cars go off course there a little bit. Carrie Anderson diving into the dirt. Drivers trying to pick off as many spots as they can early on here as we see a bunch of cars go off. Tyler Heron off into the dirt. It looks like, well, Sam Doherty's fine, but Chase Hudson going around. Chase is just not having a day today. As we work our way back up towards the battle up front here, Sean Merrick, unfortunately, losing spots relatively quickly here off of that bad start. But Fran Chan holding on to that first place right now. Let's see if he can stay far enough out in the lead and away from all the trouble after all the incidents that he has been involved in that have not been his fault. I am pulling for Fran right now. I want him to win. That's announcer bias. I'm sounding like Chris Collinsworth with Patrick Mahomes, but I'm hoping that Fran is able to do well here. Even if it's not a win, I'm hoping that he's able to do well just because he deserves it. Like, after being taken out so many different times.
Poor guy.
Working our way back here. Looks like Jake Snedden is already up to 8th place because of that incident that occurred with Tyler Heron and Chase Hudson. Jake doing his best to get all the way past Jace Merrick here. This is a battle for the championship. Jace is just letting them by. Jake doing a great job of playing defense on that pass there. Heading back to another battle going on. Looks like Ian Anderson is working his way back up after the incident. As we see Ian Anderson get into the back of Elijah Mathai. And Gilbert Cortez trying to work his way by there. Maybe a penalty in that regard if he doesn't wait for Elijah to get back on track here. That's unfortunate. And now we see Ian getting into the back of Gilbert here. Getting a little impatient.
Ooh. Taking cars one by one.
Oh, this is not good. There will definitely be some penalties being added post here. That was this is why I say going through that corner is not the way you want to go, like too wide. It is definitely not a corner for that. It's unfortunate. Gilbert getting involved in another incident. But he keeps on trucking. We appreciate his existence. We see Phil Rodshaper cutting most of the corkscrew there. And it looks like we are seeing some sun now. A little overbearing sun, but we are seeing some sun.
Hearing about that.
A little bright. See if we could tone that down a little bit. Give us a moment here.
I'm sure the drivers are happy nonetheless.
That was a very quick change from foggy to sunlight, but that's fine. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better on the eyes. Great battle as we see Will making his way by Tedward here into the kink. Holds on to it very, very sideways. Looks like Tedward's fighting his way back here with a run. See
I'm
if he
intrigued
can
to
make
see
some
if the
stick.
times are changing.
Oh, Tedward getting went in a little deep there trying to block Will. Loses 2 positions off of that. That was one hell of a thing to watch, I'll tell you that much.
Wow.
So you see Jake Snedden slowly but surely working his way back up towards the front here. Getting by Sean Merrick. Looks like Jace Merrick has made his way back in front of Jake Snedden. I'm not sure what happened there. But Jace doing a great job here. He's able to maintain that lead over Jake Snedden. He may be moving up in points here, especially if he's able to close in that gap on James Pendry and Sauce. But going back to our leader here, Francis Chan, the underdog here, pulling away, doing a great job, having a 1 second lead against Sauce. Back to a battle going on between Sam and Tedward. With Carrie right behind. Looks like Carrie's looking to make a move. So you see Sam dive down, peek down a little inside a little bit there. Not enough of a run to really make it work. So we'll hold on to this camera position, but we see Jake Snedden in the times move up to 5th place, gets by Lilac Zier. Oh, this is why I wanted to keep watching it. That was going to be an incident for sure. Sam taking out the person that he thought was going to be the winner, Tedward.
Oh.
Carrie laying on the horn, probably voicing some sort of discussion with the other drivers.
Nice way to put that.
Ironically, this is still the closest battle at the moment. Francis Chan pulling away up in front, 1.5 second gap over Sauce now. With Jace Merrick laying down the fastest lap of the day so far with a 153.905. If he keeps laying down those lap times, he could reel in James Pendry before the end of this race. Oh, it looks like, looking at the timing now, Francis Chan looks like he made some sort of an error. Looks like Sauce is closing that gap down to 0.7, 0.8. So we see Will Pierre now get by Lilac. Lilac doing a great job though, staying out of trouble as much as she possibly can. And we see Chase working the inside of Tedward now, trying to work his way back after the early incident. Looks towards the inside, does the smart thing here and doesn't try to pass through the kink. We see Dan Gauger getting a little adventurous with that line through the corkscrew, going through all the painted surface and not the track surface, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
Fine. Everything is fine. This is fine.
Jake Snedden now with a 153.720, so he now has the fastest lap of the session. Really trying to reel in Jace Merrick and James Pendry, trying to get those positions back. So we look towards the front here. It looks like Fran's starting to fall off a little bit. Got 5 minutes left. See if he can hold on to that first place position against Sauce. This is becoming a fantastic battle now. Fran's got to be perfect with all of his lines now to really try to hold off Sauce. Sauce's best lap is about 0.7 of a second faster than Fran, so he really needs the hunker down here and really try to not make any mistakes as we see Sauce get a little sideways there. And now we see Jace has moved in front of James Pendry. So Jace moving his way up now in third place. See if he can close that gap on Sauce now. He's got a little less than 4 minutes to get it done. I think if Jace is able to put pressure on Sauce, it's going to take a little bit of pressure off of Fran, because then he's not going to need to worry as much, since Sauce is going to have to worry about what's going on behind him. Jace Merrick now with the fastest lap once again, 153.616. We'll switch over to another battle going on over here. Kerry Anderson, Sam Doherty, and Sean Merrick. This is quite the large battle going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, as we see, I believe that's Chase getting pinned towards the inside. Oh, and we're around. Oh, goodness gracious. That looked like just an unfortunate incident between a bunch of drivers. So we see Kerry Anderson teleports back to pits. That's unfortunate. I think Sean just came down to the inside and didn't see Kerry there, and it just caused a chain of events. As we see Sean just do the typical turn 5 bin into the wall there. Excuse me, I believe that's turn 4. I think I had that wrong. And now we see Sauce challenging Fran for that first place position here with Jace Merrick right behind. Sauce knows that he needs to make a move. This could be it. Oh, he breaks a little earlier. Let's it settle down a little bit. But that's going to give Jace Merrick a little bit of a run going onto the straight here. We'll keep an eye on this battle. This is coming into what looks like the final lap. So I think we're going to want to stay on this battle here. See what happens between the top 3. This could go fairly great for one of the drivers, or it could go fairly horrible for all 3.
Absolutely. The amount of pressure they're going to have to put on each other in order to make a move.
Right along the Sauce here. See Jace right in that mirror getting ever so larger with that pink liveried Wild Things car. Looks like they've kind of spread out a little bit here. See if Sauce is able to close that gap a little bit on first place. He's got to really make a move here. I don't know if he's got the distance on him though. It's a rather large gap. You see Jace Merrick getting in nice and tight there. What a fit. Oh!
Man!
I thought he was going to go for it there, and that was going to be Jace Merrick taking the win because of an incident. But looks like they played it clean, played it smart, didn't dive bomb it. But as we head into the final corner here, looks like Fran could potentially be holding on to this lead here. I don't know, though. It's going to be nice and tight as they work their way towards the final, the line here. Looks like Jace Merrick might pull up. Oh, a couple thousandths of a second. Francis Chan first place, Sauce second, Jace Merrick third, Jake Snedden fourth, James Pendry fifth, Will Pierre sixth, with Stephen Moore crossing the line in seventh. What a finish between Jace Merrick and Sauce. That was amazing. Lilac Zier in 8th, Tyler Heron 9th, and we see Chase Hudson, against all odds after all the incidents he's had today, in 10th place. And we see a good battle going on here back for looks like 11th place. Phil able to hold on to it, though, with a 11th place finish. Ian Anderson 12th. Sam Doherty 13th. Dan Gauger 14th. Edward 15th. Sean Merrick 16th. And it looks like, is that Carrie? It is Carrie. Okay, so she came back out on course. Carrie Anderson crossing the line with the 21st place finish, 1 lap down. On the horn, Gilbert Cortez in 17th, Ian Brandt in 18th. Elijah Matai looks like he is unopposed, coming across the line in 19th. And then Amy Dilks bringing it in 20th place. Nicely done by Amy. Very little to say about her as far as incidents go. Good first event for her. This is the first time she's driven this car, so we give her a lot of respect, and a lot of respect to her crew chief, Noodle, her cat, who has been spending more time in her racing seat than Amy has at this point. But we appreciate all of
Noodle?
our... Yes, Noodle. She's in a Discord chat, if you take a look.
Oh dear, I will have to look now.
She's sitting in the chair in front of the steering wheel, looking at the interior of the Spec P71 car. You look at...
Oh, sweet baby.
Well, yes, very nicely done from Fran Chan. His first win of the entire season here. I think first win of Spec P71 altogether. So congrats to him. Well-deserved win. Held off Sauce. And Sauce and Jace did a fantastic job as well. And with that, guys, I think that'll be the end of our stream here. Once again, fantastic job to Francis Chan on his first victory. Fantastic job to Sauce and Jace for that fantastic finish. Unbelievably close. Looks like it was 0.016 of a second. 16 thousandths of a second.
Oof.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Susie, for joining me as always. You have been a lovely, lovely co-host. And
Absolutely.
next week we will be at Chuckwalla for the final round and the final round of that chaos. So make sure you bring a big bottle of the cow. I believe that's what it's called that you're drinking. Striped cow, is it? Spotted cow? Spotted cow?
Yep.
Yes,
you
got it. Okay, I knew it was one of those. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Make sure you bring a nice bottle of that. I'll bring a nice bottle of Bullet, and we'll finish out this final race of the season.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you all again for joining, and we'll see you next time.